Welcome to Tiger Tutorials. This is a probability theory tutorial for Bayes' theorem. Let's begin. Adam's app company makes 72% of all apps, and Bryant's app company makes the remaining 28% of the apps. The apps made by Adam's app company have a 5% rate of being buggy, and the apps made by Bryant's company have an 8% rate of defects, aka being buggy. So the first component to this problem is finding if an app is randomly selected. Find the probability that it was made by Adam's apps. Well, the way that we do this is first we want to have let A be a app that is produced by Adam's app company, and let B be an app produced by Bryant's app company. Okay, so now we set A and B. Well, we want to find the probability of A in this problem. And the probability of A is simply, if you come up to here, you look at Adam's app company, it's 72%. So we just simply write 0.72. And while we're at it, we're going to write the probability of B while we're at it, because this is useful for part B of this problem. And if you look back up here, that is 28%. So that's going to be 0.28. So the answer to A is 72%, just by looking at the probability of A. Okay, so let's move on to B. If a randomly selected app is tested and has a bug, find the probability that it was made by Adam's app company. So now this is where Bayes' theorem comes into play. And we're going to be using a thing called conditional probability. So before we write that out, let me first set another variable. Let D be the event that an app is buggy. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to use conditional probability to find the answer to B. And conditional probability is a key component in Bayes' theorem. So D given A. D given A. So the event that an app is buggy given that it was Adam's app. And what is that? Well, that's going to be the rate right here, 5% rate. The apps made by Adam's app company have a 5% rate. So that's going to be this right here, so 0.5. Now we need to find the conditional probability for Bryant's app company, and that is simply 0.08, as you can refer back up to there, have a 8% rate of defects. So now that we found the conditional probabilities to these two components, we can now plug it into our Bayes' theorem. So we want to find the probability that a randomly selected app is tested and has a bug. Find the probability that it was made by Adam's app company. Well, we want to know A given D. And what is that? Well, that's going to be probability of D over A, or probability D given A times the probability of A over probability of D given A, probability of A, plus probability of D given B, probability of B. Okay, so now that we got that, we just simply start plugging in what these values equal. And so we have this value right here is equal to 0.05, 0.72, 0.05, 0.72, 0.08, and 0.28. So we're going to pull out the calculator, and we're going to do 0.05 times 0.72. That's equal to that. And that's the same thing down here. And then we're going to do 0.08 times 0.28. That's equal to that right there. And now we add these two together, plus. And that will be and let's calculate that. 36 divided by 0.584 is equal to that right there. Okay, so now that we have that, we can interpret what that number means. Well, that would be approximately 6.1%. So that's the answer to B. All right, we're going to have some more tutorials for more probability theory.